everyone. The conversation continues with Go Watch a Movie, episode 5, the conversation after the movie. I'm Kelvin.
I'm Robert.
Thank you for joining us today. We're continuing our horror Halloween movie October thing. And today we're going to tackle The Exorcist. There we go. Very far there. I have those quite often in my old age. But yes, but before we get into that, a little bit of entertainment news / drama. Just wanted to get into something real quick that I normally don't do, but a certain entertainer whose music and words are in a lot of movies and in a lot of media today. He went and talked with a very important person, and he has said a lot of bullshit. A whole lot of bullshit. And
scoop boop boop shoot doo boop
Scoopity
boop scoop boop
Poopy doo scoop.
And people seem to think that he represents black people. I, as a black person, will say he does not represent me. He has not influenced my votes in anything, in any way, shape, or form. I personally think he needs help. Someone should talk to him, and he needs to get back on his medication, even though he seems to think that it gives him a superpower. Yeah, I apologize, but I just have to get it off my soda because it's very dangerous rhetoric that he spits and talks about. And yeah, a lot of people still do look up to him. But moving on to other entertainment news. So the Flashpoint movie has been pushed back.
Uh-oh. Not a good sign.
Not a good sign.
It seems to be crumbling with all the people getting either booted or quitting or...
And that's what I was going to say. I wonder if it's because of the not sudden, but seemingly the leaving of Superman / Batman.
I think, well, that you would assume Superman and Batman are the glue that would hold the Justice League together.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying. But with those gone, you're left with a bit of a void. And fans don't like, well, I can't speak for everybody.
I don't
like it when people are replaced, just randomly. And then you're like,
especially when they've been building them up,
So yeah, they got some repair work to do. I personally think they should scrap everything. They should sign some people to contracts and keep them in there long enough to make the appropriate content and go from there. And they need to just do it right.
What if they kept Wonder Woman?
That's fine. I mean, I love the person who's playing Wonder Woman. I like the movies that she's been in. I thought she was great in all of them.
Got it. Right. Got it. Yeah.
But I don't know how you could keep her and then just replace everybody else. It's still just going to feel like replacing it.
Here's my thought, because her movies are still catching up to the present, so they can kind of make her a Nick Fury of DC. She eventually catches up and starts getting rebuilding this new Justice League that you're talking about, after they scrap everybody else, even though she's, clearly talked to the other people. But they, like you said, if they scrap that stuff,
What they really need to do is just pay whoever it is that needs whatever it is they need
Agreed.
To make the movie. Because I don't understand.
They have the money.
It's like, what are they asking for? It's like, is it a couple $100,000 or is it $1 million? Or what is it?
It's millions. It has to be, because $20 million is seems to be the staple of what actors get paid. And I don't know if they feel they're not worth that, or
they should give it to them.
I agree.
Why are they playing with people's, people are going to want to veer away from DC because they're not getting the continuity that they want.
And it may be the fact that the movies aren't doing as well as they would like. I think this is why they're skeptical to pay.
They're decent, but look what they're up against. I mean, Marvel
has had 10 years.
It's killing it.
Of building... as Chris Evans said at the Comic-Con we just went to, they have successfully interwoven 8 different storylines, It's crazy. And
and it's hard to do over 10 years to keep something going and keep it fresh and keep it real. And people are responding to that. And then DC is trying to catch up and they're just not getting it.
Yeah. And I think that's the problem.
But the characters in DC are so good that they should be able to. They have enough subject matter and content that they should be able to do something good.
Outside of their cinematic universe, Batman and Superman are seen as two of the most popular comic book characters of all time. So how can't you get those right? You know,
I mean, they did Guardians of the Galaxy right, and that's so nobody. I mean, I didn't love Guardians of the Galaxy before I saw the movie. I thought they were a ragtag team. I didn't really care too much about them. I thought that was weird. There's a raccoon in it. What? I don't think so. But they made it work. And if
James Gunn made it work,
if you can make that work in the Marvel universe, then somebody should be able to make Batman and Superman work. It doesn't make any sense that
I agree. And maybe with because they tapped Josh Whedon for something, they tapped not James Gunn now, and maybe we're gonna start seeing this better universe happen because he gets over there, does good on Suicide Squad 2, and they're like, okay, how about you handle some of the big boys, And not to say that not dissing anybody in those movies, but they have a big boy section, right? But that's Flashpoint, and I think Flash needs to redone himself before he goes back and resets the universe, but that's neither here nor there. Other news, which has me on pins and needles. Chris, can't remember his last name, but the new showrunner of Doctor Who, he wrote the first 2 episodes. Really, really, really wants J.K. Rowling to write some Doctor Who. My world's colliding. Two of my favorite fandoms, possibly. Can you imagine her?
You think she can pull it off, though?
Her attention to detail, I think.
Wouldn't it? You don't think it would change the fabric of what Doctor Who is?
I think she can adapt well enough to those characters because the doctor is kind of like a mixture of Harry and Hermione, anyway, he has Hermione's brains, he has Harry's courage, and just leap into action sometimes he always thinks before he leaps into action, but his courage. And so I think she could interweave that and get that going. I don't know. You have reservations?
I'm thinking Harry Potter and the feelings that I get from Harry Potter, and I can't combine those with the Doctor.
Gotcha.
It just doesn't seem to work to me in my head. Not to say that she couldn't do it, possibly, and it might be great, but I just can't see it.
Gotcha.
Yet.
Well,
but I look forward to being proven wrong.
If she it's just very early. He just wants it to happen, so there's nothing in ink, but. Yeah.
Is it because he's a fan of?
I think so. He's a big fan of her work.
I mean, there's a difference between being a fan of somebody's work and then thinking that they could take over for a series that's completely different.
I think he just means like an episode or 2. I don't think he means the entire series, but because they have a bunch of guest writers anyway. So I think that's what his thought was, have her kind of write maybe a arc or double episode or something like that. But. Yeah, I agree. There's a difference between because she I love the Terminator, but she wouldn't be a good Terminator writer. I get what you're saying.
Have you caught the both of the 2 new episodes so far?
I have.
Okay. I was going to mention the sunglass thing to you. We just talked about the sunglass thing. I was going to scare you and be like, so there's sunglasses.
I was desperately hoping that those weren't the Sonic sunglasses.
Did you cringe when you heard it?
And then just like, I got these from. Some ancient dude.
I think they were listening to us as we were driving back from Comic-Con. They were like,
what do you think of that episode?
It's all right.
She still has a little room to grow.
She has a lot of room to grow, but they are showing a different path for the Doctor. They're showing someone who's more openly emotional, which is obvious why, and they're showing somebody.
What do you mean?
they're showing some different things that they usually don't show in the Doctor. So that's refreshing.
Yes,
to see. And I'm not saying that I necessarily love that more than I love the older, but it's good to see something different. They are taking a different path, so I'm at least enthusiastic to see where they go with it and where they continue with it.
Samesies. I think that'll bring us to trailers.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go first. Mine's a throwback-ish. Saw the first trailer a little bit ago. Then like a fool, I broke my own rule and watched the second trailer. Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald.
Yeah.
Angered me.
Okay.
Because, like I said, they show too much.
Yeah. Trailers are starting to do that, though.
I think even in a poster, I think there's posters out for it too. But like, I think the fact that Nagini's in it and she has a human form would have been a massive shocker if they revealed that first in the movie instead of showing it in a trailer and a poster. You know, like. Mm-hmm. I wish I would have never watched that.
Yeah, they're forgetting about the shock value that you get when you go to a movie.
Yeah,
that's part of it. What's enjoyable. Mm-hmm. I mean, you don't want to just be told everything. And you go, I've watched some trailers, and then there's always the comments underneath, and everybody's like, they just told the entire movie. Why would I go see that? Everything's just been revealed to me. So, I mean, trailers are supposed to get you interested. They're supposed to be a little bit of mystery. They're supposed to be like, here's this, but what's going to happen? You don't know, so you go see the movie. You don't want to give it all away. So maybe the guys and the gals out there who are making the trailers need to take a little step back.
Was it in the past? Do you recall? Like, was it always like a teaser? Trailer 1, trailer 2, Red Band trailer 3. Was that always the case, or was it just
I don't believe so.
a trailer, and then you have to wait? You see that trailer over and over again.
Yeah.
That's what I
thought. Might have been 1 or 2, but it wasn't like all the ones we get now.
Yeah, and then leaked footage from behind the scenes.
It's almost like the trailers have gotten to the point where they want to reveal everything by the end of the trailer run.
Yeah,
this is the first trailer. This is a sneak peek. Now what the last trailer. By the time we get to it, we're just going to tell you everything.
Exactly. Makes me sick, but. Anyway, the Crimes of Grindelwald are lots more Johnny Depp in this one, and he finally came out and spoke about allegations that were put up against him. Uh-huh. I don't know if you saw this. So this probably should have been entertainment news, but he came out and spoke about the allegations against him, and he said he has has lawsuits out against certain people for bringing back up the false allegations because there was never proof, and he said, your mind should be at ease, and please don't speak ill of J.K. Rowling because she has seen the proof and would not have hired me otherwise.
Right.
Which I have always said, like, she's a huge activist, women's rights and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't think she would have hired a straight up woman beater, if it's true. But anyway, your trailer, sir.
All right. Well, I got first one really quick. I have two. Yeah. Pet Cemetery.
Oh, I've been avoiding it.
Okay. I don't know if you love the old one.
I do like the old one.
It's pretty good. I mean, I'm not in love with it, but it's a good little movie, good little horror film. I'm not flat out against remaking, older movies, but we'll see what happens. I'm a little skeptical. I don't think they can really bring to the table. Well, I think Stephen King's maybe more involved with this one. I kind of heard.
I think so, yeah.
So maybe it'll be closer to what he originally wanted. So maybe it'll be better. I don't know. But here we go again with another remake. And there's so many of them. Suspiria is coming out with a remake. It's just like, we're just getting tackled with remakes. So I always get into the mindset where I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll see it, but I'm not excited for it. So there's that one. I want people to check it out just to get their own take, join the conversation. What do you think? You think we need a remake for this one or don't we? And then my last trailer is called Jonathan. It's a little more of a psychological thriller. It's about this guy who apparently has two personalities in his head. And
I think I saw this.
You saw this one? Yeah. And he's like, and he's aware of the other person. Each personality is aware of the other because they videotape themselves talking to each other, basically, so they can know that they're both there. Mm-hmm. And I guess one of them is dating a girl and then needs to break up because it makes the other one mad. But then the other one starts dating her, and it just becomes some crazy. Who knows what's going to happen next and what crazy? Because when you're in love with somebody, the crazy stuff happens, and you want to get back at the person that's messing up your love life. But then the person that's messing up your love life is yourself. So how is that going? I mean, it sounds weird and crazy, and I don't know how it's going to play out. So it sounds super interesting to me. So that's my last trailer.
I like it. Yeah. Also, that kind of made me think of this last season of Iron Fist. And Iron Fist is canceled.
It's got canceled?
No more Iron Fist on Netflix.
Well, there you go.
Season 2 is the last. But a lot of people are mad about that. I personally am not. But that'll bring us to the classic.
I love your honesty. I personally am not.
So it never has been my favorite, and they made some corrections with season 2, but clearly not enough, you know. But that will bring us to the main event here, the 1973 classic, The Exorcist. And this one starred, let's see here, Linda Blair, Max von Sydow, Jason Miller. These people have some old pictures on here.
Whoa. Well, it is an old movie.
It is an old movie.
They were adults or...
They were old then.
Yeah, well, except for Linda.
Yeah, Linda was younger.
I say Linda like I know her personally. Linda Blair.
How's Linda doing?
She's all right.
Small synopsis, I guess. The Exorcist. Someone gets exercise. No, I'm joking. But this one is...
I will point out the movie is called The Exorcist.
Yes.
Not the person who gets possessed by a demon or it's about the exorcist.
But yeah, so little girl, happy family, rich actress.
Happy family? I don't know, because there's some trouble with the dad. Because he's in Europe and she's yelling at him on the phone because he won't tries to yell at him on the phone, but he won't pick up the phone. Smart man, because he won't call his daughter for her birthday, which was pretty cruel. So I wouldn't say happy family.
Decently happy family
she's
without
rich
dad.
Though.
Yeah, she's rich. I mean, like, then someone gets possessed. I mean, that's not really a lot. So she's an actress, well-known actress, apparently. Did you get what the husband does? I didn't hear that.
I didn't really get a whiff of that, except for he's in Europe somewhere.
Yeah. But the story starts in Iraq, northern Iraq.
Yeah, which is a weird spot.
It is, and I couldn't connect that.
And it didn't really gel with me either. Finally, the guy who was in the beginning of the movie ends up like towards the end of the movie.
Yeah.
So fine, that's your connection, I guess. And I assume because he came back 3 months like prior to when they needed his help, that he may have been the cause of why that particular spirit, demon, whatever it was that possessed that girl came to America anyway, where he was, because
I got the
timeline
like
works.
He found a little statue head. Mm-hmm. The detective found a little statue head.
But the little statue head that the detective finds is one of her little clay things that she made. Okay. There's no clear, like, I didn't notice it.
I didn't either.
Please tell us if you watch this movie and you know more about it than we do. Yeah. What was the connection? Because she didn't have that the jewelry that he found. Nope. Came from the priest, and there was the little statue. So what was the? I mean, they just randomly grabbed that girl for whatever reasons. I think it was more about getting the exorcist at the end than it was about the girl. I think the girl was just bait. But
seems like it.
It was. Yes, I don't really know why that particular girl was possessed.
Yeah, boy, was she possessed.
Yeah, she got it.
But so before we get there, this exorcist, the young one,
the one that looks like a boxer.
He's shitty.
He's what?
He is not a good priest.
You don't think he's good?
He's not a good priest
part of the theme of the movie was him struggling with his faith and struggling with wanting to be a priest. And because he comes from I don't know if he didn't come from a psychological background. He was a priest first, I believe, and then became a psychologist.
Yeah. And he had conflicts between science and religion. Mm-hmm. But at that point, it's like, give it to the guy who wants all religion. Like, get out of it, and let that happen. Because otherwise it makes you a shitty priest.
I guess.
I don't know. I guess I don't know enough about Catholicism, but it seemed to me like he was not doing what he needed to be doing. Because, like, when he went to go check her
somebody
out.
would say the Lord like works in mysterious ways, so he was doing exactly what he needed to do to get to exactly where he needed to be. Let me jump into Morpheus for a second. Walking the path and knowing the path are two different things.
Damn it. You got me there, Morpheus. No, but like, okay, so damn it, I don't want to jump ahead too far, but you go into a room to see if someone's possessed.
Yeah.
Little girl, she's supposed to be a what? 9?
She's 12.
12-year-old girl.
12 or 13, yeah. I think.
And you walk in there, it's not cold yet. Not the first time I went to see her, but she's decaying on the outside.
Mm-hmm. Why is this funny?
She's decaying on the outside. She's talking.
Girl.
She should be. Oh, hi. I'm Sally. But instead, she's talking like, I will fuck your soul. And you're like, no, I need real proof that she's possessed. It's like, motherfucker, what?
That's because he's been dealing with this for a while. Like he's dealt with crazy people, and he even said, like the girl said, "I'm Satan" or whatever. I'm the devil. He's like, that's what crazy people say all the time. They're always like, "Yeah, I'm Napoleon."
But like the signs I just pointed out, yeah, crazy people say it all the time. But she's literally decaying in. And then she projectile vomits on him.
It was 1973. That's my excuse. It was 1973. They didn't have it all together then. And it felt like the movie was making the point that doctors and whatnot didn't know what they were doing.
Because they went through, what, 80-some doctors?
Yeah, because they went all these doctors and they didn't know what they were doing. And even when you listen to the doctor speak, he was like, yeah, I think it's something in their lobe. And they looked on the x-rays and there's nothing there. Mm-hmm. And still, 2 doctors are like, yeah, it's something in her lobe. We just need to do another test. We'll see whatever that thing is in her lobe. Why don't you come over here and fuck me? So it's just... No, that poor girl.
But yeah, the doctors had no idea. The first priest had no idea, really. Mm-hmm. It literally had to be spelled out for him. Mm-hmm. Help me! It had to be spelled out on her stomach. None of the other signs are working. God damn it! Help me!
Even the mom didn't know because the bed was jumping around. Yeah. And she's on top of the bed, and the bed's jumping around, so she knows something's wrong.
But she takes the doctor.
But the doctor is like, it's not the bed. She just had a muscle convulsion thing or something. And she's just like, yeah, I believe it.
She tries to refute it. She's like, but I was on the bed and it jumped around. And he's like, no, it's in her head. And she's like, yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah, she just accepts it. I think that was kind of supposed to be the point.
Are you all fucking stupid? It's kind of.
I think that was the point there because people. I think maybe at that time, 1973. I don't know what was going on. I wasn't born, but they were probably saying, maybe religion isn't as prevalent as they want it to be. Maybe that was kind of the point of the movie. And they're like, people are relying too much on science and faith and doctors and blah blah blah. Maybe they should rely on faith a little bit more. And
they were big on shocking people back then. So. Therapy.
Well, this movie definitely shocked people back then. I would assume. I watched the version though that had apparently 11 minutes or something. I was
looking for that version. I couldn't find it.
That was cut. That was cut from the original version of the film, and I don't know what those moments were because I've never seen the original theatrical version. I've just seen that version that on the DVD that says the version that you've never seen before and blah blah blah. So I don't know.
I was looking for that version, but I couldn't find it. I don't know what they could. They showed the poor girl stabbing herself
in the crotch with
the cross.
Let Jesus.
And that's in the normal version. Let him fuck you. Let him fuck you. So some of these things she said I haven't heard since I was a schoolgirl.
Thank you, Tyler Durden.
But yeah, so mom's famous actress. She's like, and the turn happens like quick.
You think there's a point to the fact that she was a famous actor? Or not, I don't know if she was famous, but she was an actress. She was rich and she had this big mansion. Was there a point to that? Because they seem to play it up a little bit in the beginning, but I don't feel like there was really that big of a.
I guess like other than like
being able to afford all the doctors.
Yeah, despite all your money and wealth, there's nothing you can do.
Okay, there you go. That's a good point.
But and then she got mad when someone did put because this is after the doctor recommends a exorcism, she goes home and finds a cross under the girl's pillow and freaks out. Like, did you put this here? Who put this here? It's like, it may help her. Well, it didn't, but it may help her. So you think this was the devil, or just another demon fucking around?
I don't know. I mean, you never really can tell because even at one point she was like, we instead of like me or it or whatever.
Maybe it's Venom. Venom.
So there was multiple somethings in there possibly, or maybe once the person gets possessed, that's a gateway to every little demon thing that's down there, right?
You hate your mama.
Who knows?
I agree. So the detective.
Did you like the detective? We're kind of jumping all over the place. People probably don't have any idea what this.
Everybody's seen The Exorcist. That's what I'm just kidding.
Do you think they've already seen? Okay.
How they tie it all together, because the priest needs to be told about this family. Apparently, there was a murder right outside of their house by these steps. Someone was pushed down them and cracked their head. But, plot twist, his neck was turned 180 degrees. But that brings in this detective who has been flirting with this priest. Did you not get a gay vibe?
I didn't get a gay vibe.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I was wondering why he wanted to go to movies with all these priests.
Yeah.
He kept asking everybody to go to a movie with him.
After he was asking
didn't he have a wife? He had a wife.
He grabbed him by the arm and walked on with him.
Maybe that's how they did it back then. I don't know. But there was because he had a wife. Because I remember he said the wife doesn't like going to the shows.
I don't think that was just a ploy.
Okay.
I think he wanted him.
So he wants every priest.
He's attracted to the clock. Okay. I don't know, man. It didn't, you didn't get that at all?
No, I didn't get, I just thought he was weird. He wanted somebody to go to the movies with. He was a lonely guy. He was a detective. He spends all of his days in the car, casing out a joint. Okay. So I didn't think he was after. I didn't get a gay vibe from the priest. I don't think he wanted any priest boutte. I didn't get that from him. But it's possible. I mean, it could have been a subplot in there that they wrote in and then scrapped because they were like, no.
One drip. But so he's the connection from the family to the priest, and he recommends the priest go check this out.
It was weird because they all kind of lived right there together or something. Yeah, I don't know if he lived there, the detective, but the priest was right down the road.
Yes, he was.
He was literally right down the rood. So when she needed him, he could just run over there. He didn't have to get in his car and get a taxi or anything. He just run right over.
But it finally took the thing that convinced the mom to go get a priest is when she got bitch smacked by her daughter.
Yeah. Because she realized how strong she was.
And that was the scene we were talking about where she's diddling herself with the cross violently.
Trying to.
Do you think that girls does that stuff heal? How does that work?
The what? The diddling?
She was stabbing herself.
I would assume that stuff is resilient. I don't know. I guess it all heals.
Because the face and stuff heals. The decay marks.
She's fine.
But that was
she's not
legit physical pain.
And she's not going to remember any of it, apparently, according to the end of the movie.
Yeah.
So she's good.
But yeah, that's what it took. Things being thrown across the room psychically. Then a bitch smack from the daughter. And I forget the line she said, but every line from that demon was 100% gold. Mm. Did you get kind of I guess this would be the opposite, but did you get kind of a Deadite feel? Do you think this is where the Deadites came from Ash?
It's possible.
Because the Deadites seem very
similar.
That.
Yeah.
Not to take anything from, because those are amazing films, so not to take anything from them, but...
It could have been some. What time? What?
I think Deadites came after. I think Ash came after because this was 73.
Yeah, I can't remember when Evil Dead came out.
Yeah,
it was in the 70s, though, wasn't it? Or was it the early 80s?
Let me check real quick.
But it more than likely, The Exorcist was before Evil Dead. I'm assuming.
Yeah,
73 is pretty out there late.
Evil Dead 81.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, it could have been inspiration for her. Definitely possible.
But I mean, like I said, and I know you're supposed to feel bad because this is a 12-year-old girl saying these things, but it was just interesting to me.
I thought they did a really good job of portraying the little girl at the very beginning of the movie as sweet and innocent. I think she won Best Supporting Actress, didn't she?
She should have.
I'm pretty sure she won Best Supporting Actress for that, if I remember correctly. I'm sorry if I'm wrong on that, but she played like a little like innocent little girl.
Could you keep your concentration if that was going on? Like, are you trying to exercise somebody?
Could you keep
let's test it.
Could you keep your concentration? Okay, because she played really, really well, and it was just like so innocent, and just like her reactions and her acting and everything. So yes, I can. So she just played like a perfect innocent little girl that seemed realistic really well.
She did,
and the mom played like a concerned mom really, really well.
Because she dropped everything.
Yeah, the acting in this.
It was her director who died right outside her house, correct?
The director? I thought he just got drunk and left. The last time I saw him, he got drunk and left because he was at the party and he was like, he kept pestering that guy, the butler, like, you're a Nazi or something.
I thought
then eventually he strangled him.
I thought he said, the director is dead. Maybe I'm wrong there. Who's the person who was killed right outside the house? Just a random person?
Was thrown down the stairs?
Yeah.
Was some dude. I don't know what his name. I don't know what his name was.
Okay, I thought that was the director.
You think that was the director? It could have been.
I could be wrong.
I don't feel like it was, but it could have been. I don't remember.
Yeah.
His name is Burke or something like that.
And the detective was like beating around the bush so much while he's trying to figure out like if this little girl did this. I don't know.
But that's one the point I was trying to make before was like she played innocent and great and like just innocent little girl so great, and then the contrast between that and the demon possessed her was just so, it was perfect that from going from one to the other. So it made you care about the little girl. You're like, oh, she's so innocent and sweet. And she makes little clay models of animals. She's just a perfect little thing. And all of a sudden she's stabbing herself in the crotch with a crucifix. So you're like, whoa, the complete contrast. Like, you care. You're like, whoa, what's going on? So that had, especially at the time, 1973, that had to shock a lot of people. That had to be like, holy crap, what's happening?
And like the doctor was like, has your daughter ever cursed?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, like, I know they inserted some audio in there when they did the adult voices,
right? They had to.
Do you think like that the raspy voice was the little girl pretending to be a demon, or you think that was also?
I thought say again?
Like like when she did her mom, that was clearly the actress who played his mom, and when she did the men, that was men. But like the little girl was like, "Fuck you, motherfucker." Do you think that was the actual actress doing that voice?
I thought it was somebody else doing it, and they but I'm not for sure. It could have been.
Gotcha.
It definitely could have been, but I thought it was somebody else doing the audio for that. Kind of hope so.
I enjoyed. Yeah, that would.
She still had to mouth. She still had to mouth it though.
Yeah.
So she was poor thing. 1973. You're like, this is what we want you to say.
I don't understand.
Why do you want me to say that?
Fuck me in the cunt. What does that mean?
That's
and the head twist thing still looks great, even to this
all
day.
The special effects were done really well. You can't see any wires or anything going on there. Everything's done really, really good. Even the upside down walk down the stairs, which was done by a contortionist, wasn't done by the little girl.
That was creepy because she's sitting there having a camera. But I hate how quickly the scene ends. It's just next scene.
Yeah. That's all you need after that. You don't want to just dwell on that.
That's
you
true.
Get away from it.
Even though I did, it haunts my dreams. But yeah, there so many good scenes with that demon. But then your man, who's been absent since the beginning of the movie, shows up. The Exorcist.
Yes. Was he the Exorcist, or was there another guy who's almost as important?
Do you think the younger one is the Exorcist?
I think they're both important because, well, in a way, let's be honest. The old guy failed. He died. He got killed. The little girl's just sitting on the bed giggling about it. Like, what did I do?
That scene said so much because at first she was like looking like with almost intent. I don't know, like
did I do that?
Will he save him? Like, is this really it? Did I get it? Did I win?
Mm-hmm.
And then the shitty priest, who I will call this again because of this scene, who clearly does not know how to do CPR. Is that the doctor? Is that Christopher Eccleston?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but so I'm gonna put the mic down for this. This is how he did CPR. Of course, that old man's gonna die. Cave in his fucking chest with a double flex. Like, come on. And then that's probably why she started giggling. You can't save him like that, stupid.
The whole point of this movie, I think, I hate to say it because I'm probably wrong, but I felt like it was about the demon, whatever that demon was getting that priest, the young priest.
She wanted,
because she even said, like, it'll bring us closer together. And he's like, who, you and the girl? She's like, no, you and I. She's like, you and us or whatever. So she wanted that priest.
And she just specifically singled out his mother. Mm-hmm. Lots.
She wouldn't have jumped into him. Like, so there's I guess this is the end of the movie.
Yeah. Take me.
He's mad that the priest is dead. The old guy.
He's punching a little girl.
He's beating up a little girl demon. He's beating the crap out of her. He's like, he lost it, clearly. Yeah. He's like, this is how you exercise somebody. You beat the crap out of him. He's like, stop throwing water on him. You hit him with your fist.
What's that famous line? I kick ass for the Lord.
So he's beating the crap out of her. And then he's like, take me. And the demon jumps into him. Demon wouldn't have done that unless it wanted to.
True.
It wasn't going to do. It didn't do it because it didn't do it. It is a doctor. It didn't do it because he commanded it.
Yeah,
it wanted to go in there because that was his plan from the beginning. It was to get in there.
Yeah. Okay.
And then he wanted to take over that priest for whatever reason. And then the priest was somehow
once again being proven a shitty priest because one of the first rules of God is don't kill yourself. But what does he do? He was toss himself right out of it.
No, you know what he did? He saved that little girl, so it was self-sacrifice, so he's getting into heaven.
You got me there. God damn it, Constantine.
I've never been called Constantine before.
But yeah, and then they make it seem like it was a happy ending. That was like nothing about that was a happy ending. Like
I didn't like
the new priest and the sneaky detective.
Everything after him jumping out of the window, I didn't like.
It shouldn't have been there.
I didn't understand why the other priest ran up and was like trying to get a confession or was confessing to the priest that was dying.
Yeah.
But he didn't really say anything. That I found that was like overwhelmingly important.
He got the necklace, right?
Yeah, and then he took the necklace for whatever reason and gave it to the mom later or the daughter later, whatever.
Have you seen Exorcist 2?
I've seen them. I've seen them, but I don't remember them well enough to comment on them.
I was going to say, I wonder if it was just like to build a sequel is why that happened.
I don't understand. And I don't understand the ending, the priest having the conversation with the detective about going to see a movie and then them walking off as friends
arm
or
in
something.
Arm.
It was just weird.
Real close.
I didn't get any of that. It didn't make sense to me. I understand why the assistant to the mom and the daughter left, didn't want to go with them. Yeah. She was like, this is enough for me.
Mm-hmm. But then it's like, oh, she's fine. She shouldn't remember anything. Sunshine and rainbows. Mm-hmm. 2 priests have died.
Yep.
Trying to save this little girl.
And another dude.
And a rando. Like,
so, yeah, I didn't care for that part of the ending. I liked what the priest did. And I like how that part ended, but after that, I didn't like the resolution to it all.
Yeah, it
seemed weird. And the little girl did kind of remember some of it because she saw the priest little neck thing and was like, "Oh, let me give him a kiss." Mm-hmm. I think there was something like buried inside of her psyche still. But as far as everybody else, they just seem to be running because they wanted to get away from the place and everything that had happened there, which makes sense because her daughter did kill couple people, so how do you explain that to the cops?
Beat her up and
she just wanted to get out of there. She healed up fast though.
Like, how does the cop report? Like, what's the report like? What's that report?
That's another unexplained, I guess. Mm-hmm. Or you just wrote somebody fell out of a window twice, like 2 guys fell out of a window.
Banana peels,
and then down a flight of stairs.
It's fantastic. Right, Doctor? Today, everybody lives.
If that happened twice, so you would think the police would have locked that place down. Like, this has happened twice.
Police tape
Nobody's going anywhere. We're going to take over this and figure out what happened.
But the Catholics have power, man. They have power.
The rich people do.
Well, and the rich, yeah. Overall thoughts of The Exorcist.
I think it's a great movie.
Yep.
It is a little bit older, but even despite the fact that it's older, I think it still holds up. I think it's still expertly done from top to bottom. It has its minor flaws, but overall, I mean, it's one of the top 10 horror movies of all time. I'll probably say that it's one of the top 10,
and has spawned so many exorcism movies. There's a new one coming out soon. I saw a trailer for it, so.
It can't be knocked. You can't if you're a horror movie fan. It's Halloween. You should definitely watch this one. It's one of those ones that you should take a look at if you haven't already.
I agree. I'm gonna say, I like every critique I made was from me judging if I were having to deal with that priest. I was like, man, I don't like you. You suck. But but other than that, like, this movie was like top to bottom fantastic. Not so much scary.
At the time, I bet you it was scary.
I can agree with that.
Now it's been so long. We've seen so much. That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago.
There's some very shocking things that you like. If you've never seen this, you would not expect.
Yeah, we haven't seen stuff like that like recently.
Not yet.
Like this thing broke some ground and still kind of holds its title. Mm-hmm. It's just weird, creepy.
I would definitely say go check that out.
Definitely.
And I think that'll bring the episode to a close. I did want to say next week I'm thinking it's gonna be I'll go ahead and announce it here, the new Michael Myers Halloween movie. This is is this a remake or
no? This isn't a remake. This is taking place after, I believe, it's taking place after the second one.
Okay,
the original second. Like, there's number 1, number 2.
So didn't Rob Zombies do that when he remade his?
I think he just remade his.
Okay, his was original. Okay,
from what I understand.
Gotcha. The second remake of, I guess this is the first remake of part 3.
No, because part 3 didn't even have Michael in it.
True, it was the Halloween mask.
Yeah, it was the mask.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to make it like an anthology series where each one was different and had a different horror element.
And then it didn't work.
And then that didn't work, so they're like, okay, we're going back to Michael.
So that'll be what we're doing for episode 56. Hope you join us for that. Other than that, you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Go Watch a Movie. Just search Go Watch a Movie and you'll see my face with a Captain Jack Sparrow hat on it, or our banner on some of them. Leave your comments and suggestions. We love those. Once we get out of this Halloween, we'll get back into doing suggestions if we get any of those. You want to write a long letter or complaints or anything like that, go ahead and send that to gowatchamovie@yahoo.com. That's the email. You can find us at gowatchamovie.podbean.com. At anywhere you can find a podcast. We want to say thank you to all the new UK listeners we got on Spotify. You have been noticed, and I appreciate that so much. We appreciate that so much.
Yes, we do.
But yeah, thank you for that. And I think that'll be it. I'm Kelvin.
And I'm Robert.
Go fuck yourself. Go watch that movie.
Scoop.